We just wanted to kick off, as most of you are aware, that April is Autism Awareness Month. And Mayor Buckhorn has had some strong initiatives over the years. And he's going to come up here and discuss what his commitment is to about being an autism-friendly city. And then I'm going to get into some of the details of what Tampa Police Department is doing and some of our first responders in the city. We partnered with Tampa Fire Rescue and some of the things that we're working on to make it a better place to live and make our ability to respond a more whole way of doing things. Mayor?
Good morning. Just over a year ago, I announced in the state of the city that we were going to try to be one of the first cities in America that was designated as an autism-friendly city. Little did I know until I really started paying attention how many families in our community, how many kids in particular, had children or were on the spectrum. And so for me, you know, having spent 8 years talking about making sure that everyone's inherent value is respected, that the worth of every individual in this community is honored, talking about how diversity was so important to us as a city, I realized that there was a segment of our population that perhaps we were not paying as much attention to and was not as focused on, and that was those young people who were on the spectrum and those families who were struggling with children who were on the spectrum. So we immediately announced an initiative called Autism Friendly Tampa. Part of that included the first steps being educating our own employees and training along with our friends at CARD, our employees, all 4,500 of them, to understand what being autistic is like, to understand the behavior patterns, to look at our recreational facilities in particular, to try to accommodate them for children with special needs, to make sure that our city was a welcoming place, to make sure that our facilities were open to everybody, and that these young people could have an experience that mirrored the experience that my two kids, who are not on the spectrum, were able to enjoy growing up. And so we've done that. We've had a great partnership with a lot of people in this community. I think this issue, more than almost anything that I have done, really has triggered a positive reaction from the providers, the parents, and the kids that will be the beneficiary of this. The next step for us is what is being announced today, and I want to thank the Tampa Police Department for taking the initiative, and that is a partnership with the community that will allow the Tampa Police Department to be aware of households and individuals that are on the spectrum, because that reaction with the police department and the community that we serve is sometimes different when you have individuals that are autistic or who have special needs. So it is beneficial for us as a police department and for the men and women who serve to know who those folks are, to know that that interaction may not be the normal interaction, and that reaction may be different. And so if they approach a family who has registered or an individual that we know has special needs, they are prepared to react appropriately. And so what we don't want and what we're trying to avoid is situations where officers come into contact with somebody who has special needs. The officer's sense of awareness is already heightened. This individual may be reacting differently than a person without these special needs would be, and potentially precarious situations may occur. So my compliments to the Tampa Police Department for taking this on. We need the community to sign up for this. It is important. It is part of our outreach to the community, so the community knows that we are interacting with them, that we are proactive about interacting with them, and that as a result, we will have a better, safer community as a result of it. So Chief Dugan, congratulations. And to our friends from CARD, as always, thank you for being great partners throughout this.
Thank you, Mayor. So what we're kicking off today is a program called Help Us Help You. And what it is, it's a special needs registry for the City of Tampa first responders. And people will be able to go online and they will register, and there's a questionnaire, and they can choose what information they want to share with us. So it's very customized to each family and whatever they're comfortable in letting us know. And really when it came about is when we started doing the training on autism awareness with our officers, and it really made me as the chief of police start thinking about what information do officers and first responders, what would we like to know when we come to your house for a variety of reasons, whether it's a crisis or whether it's a delayed call where you just may be there to investigate an auto burglary that happened a few days earlier. And I started thinking about the officers and fire rescue, what information would they like to have? You know, how many times have you come in contact with someone and you walk away and you hear about a crisis that they were going through and you think to yourself, well, that'd have been nice to know. And so that's all this is. It's a simple registry where you go online, you give us the information you're comfortable in giving us, and then we will take it and put it into our system so that when our first responders in the city of Tampa respond to your house, you will know whoever lives there. And after a while, and after 2 years, if it's not updated, we will respond to you and ask you to update it. Now, it is very detailed where you can even give us pictures, you can tell us their medication, you can give us all kinds of information that is voluntary so that if there's a tendency for someone to come up missing, we will already have that information, we'll already have their pictures. And like I said, it's very customizable, and it will go from autism to any other type of situation or disability, whatever the right word is for it. If someone has mental health issues, anything that you would like the cops to know about when they show at your house. And so I think it's going to be very helpful for us, and I'm really excited, and I owe a lot to Mayor Buckhorn for kicking off this and really making our city departments more aware of how we can do things. And so when it came to Autism Awareness Month for the month of April, we decided we're going to put a special sticker on some of our police cars, the puzzle piece, to raise awareness. Because, you know, when you're driving a police car around and it's got the markings and the lights on the top, people tend to take notice. And so we thought this was a good way to bring notice to April being Autism Awareness Month. And what a perfect way for us to kick off this program that we're coming up with, Help Us Help You. And so, you know, I owe it a lot to the members of the police department because I kick around different ideas, but they make it happen. And so it was our employees who came up with the idea of creating this database and how we can really be more effective in how we do things. I would like to bring up Polly Marino. She's a parent, and she has already filled out the form, and she'll share her story with us.
Hi there. My name's Holly Marino, and I have two daughters, one of which has autism. She's 13 years old, and albeit we've come a long way in the last decade or so with her autism attributes, if you will, she still has a very difficult time communicating, carrying on a back and forth conversation with another person. In times of stress, her anxiety does elevate quite substantially, and she's been known to scream, cry, try to hit someone. And then also her social skills. She just is very quirky in that particular area. So in a situation such as this, you know, as a parent, we try to surround them with people that love them and help them to prosper and grow. But in an event where we would have to have a first responder come out, clearly that would be a complete stranger. And so this registry has given me the opportunity to be able to provide information that would be, I believe, crucial in making sure that nothing unforeseen or anything bad would happen as a result of some of her behaviors and things like that. So when I was filling out the registry, which only took 3 to 5 minutes, it was very simple, but it allowed me to give the city of Topeka, or city of Tampa, lots of information about my daughter, and to where, like, for instance, she can write, she can type. So if they have an iPad or pencil and paper, then if she's not able to communicate back and forth, she can write down and articulate what it is that she's trying to say. So there's just little things like that that I can let the city know. So if they're responding, it will just help reduce anxiety and help make sure that they can communicate with her and find out what it is that's happening with her at that given opportunity or that given moment. So again, I appreciate that this registry is now here. It's given parents such a peace of mind, and as I said, it's very simple. I encourage all the families in the city of Tampa to fill out the form and make sure that helps the responders help us as a family. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And, let me stress again, this is completely voluntary and customizable. And I can tell you from personal experiences, if you're hesitant, please go forward with this. The anxiety that caretakers have in these situations, if you're a caretaker of someone in this situation, what if something happens to you and you're not able to communicate for your loved one? By doing this registry, giving us tips and information, it's really going to make things so much better for everyone. I cannot encourage enough for people to sign up for it. I'd like to bring up Corporal Robin Penix right now, who has a passion for the program and a unique perspective herself. Robin?
Thank you. Hi, as he said, I'm Corporal Robin Penix, and I have two nephews that's autistic. This is Noah Camacho. He's 6. He lives in Chicago. He was diagnosed in a medium spectrum of autism. He's nonverbal, but he will repeat a few words. Noah loves animals, going to the zoo, and the aquarium. Noah does not interact with anyone if he does not know you. He has to get to know you before he interacts. This is my other nephew, Maishan. Maishan Penix is 8 and lives in Riverview. Maishan was diagnosed with precisive development disorder, PDD, if I'm saying it correctly, sorry. Maishan is verbal, sometimes a little too verbal, but he also loves animals. He loves snakes. As you can see, he caught this snake in his yard. He also loves dinosaurs and airplanes. Maishan will interact with people, and he talks like he's very friendly. Both of my nephews love water, so at an early age, they had to teach them how to swim because autistic kids tend to go to water. To me, it's very important for officers to recognize autism, not only for their safety, but also for the safety of the child. Noah, if interaction with the police, he probably would be the child that had the meltdown because he's nonverbal. He does not know how to express himself. Maishan would be the one that he would interact and talk. However, he may come across as sarcastic or have a smart mouth. But I think the training and awareness is very important. And when the email came out about the decals, I was the first one to respond back and said I want a decal. I was also able to buy 25 decals for my family members. I'm passionate about getting the word out, not only because of my family members, but also because of law enforcement. I had the occasion to deal with an autistic child while working, but the family was able to tell me that they're autistic. So like the chief said, I'm very passionate, and I think all law enforcement officers, not only that, but also citizens should be aware of it. That way, if they do come in contact with the person, they at least have the knowledge or know how to direct them where they need to go. Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay.
Thank you, Robin. I'd like to acknowledge Mindy Stevens, the Program Director for the Center of Autism and Related Disabilities at USF. Thank you. She has been a tremendous resource to our city, and although she's not here speaking, she is available for questions later if you like. But I really would like to thank her. And again, the hat goes off to Mayor Buckhorn because he is the one who has made city employees start thinking about how we are interacting with our community and some of the things that we're doing. And I also would like to thank the members of the Tampa Police Department because they're the ones that have come up with some of these ideas on how we can better serve our community. And so I want to give them some kudos for that.